So what makes Pianoteq so different? Pianoteq does not trigger recordings. Pianoteq actually is a piano simulation. It actually simulates the interactions between a virtual hammer against strings, against soundboard, against all the various permutations of the design of the piano, the hardness of the hammer, and even the way that strings vibrate against each other. What this does is, rather than having 8 or 10 triggered recordings that you're playing with, now you can take full advantage of the full MIDI range of velocities. Now, there are typically 127 steps in a MIDI instrument. I never realized this, but digital pianos up to this point have really never fully taken advantage of all 127 MIDI levels. Basically what they do is they'll take those 10 different level recordings and interpolate them across the 127 point scale, so to speak, so that within a certain range you'll trigger recording number 1, which will be the softest. The next range will trigger recording number 2, so on and so forth until you get to the loudest, maybe 10 or so levels, which will trigger recording number 10. Again, like I said, it's kind of a strange stepped feel when you work on these digital instruments. Well, by taking full advantage of every keynote velocity within the MIDI language, suddenly these digital instruments actually feel alive. I'm going to take a few moments to kind of demonstrate what makes, or how this feels by using Pianoteq, why this feels so liberating, why this feels so expressive. I really feel a little bit like Joseph Hoffman, who was exclaiming when the first reproducing pianos were on the market and he had some of his recordings put on these instruments. He actually remarked with that early technology that this was incredible. This really did recreate his artistic vision perfectly, according to his words. Pianoteq comes awfully close. This is the closest feeling that I've got to playing an acoustic instrument through a digital medium. Okay, now, when you're playing on a digital piano, anything you play loud will sound fairly good, okay? So if I'm playing... anything loud and in a limited dynamic range is not going to have a problem with most digital pianos. The problem comes is when you try to make delicate shading, delicate coloring. This is where digital instruments tend to fall flat very, very quickly. When you try to grade down or try to shape or color or find nuances with your notes, digital pianos simply fall flat. They don't give you the tools to shape or color or to texture your touch. Pianoteq actually does. Let me play a little excerpt just to give you an illustration of how delicately I can finesse each note. There are a couple of techniques that I find critical to shaping and making delicate nuances in piano playing. As I'm playing this Debussy excerpt, take a look at my foot. Watch how I'm using the damper pedal to taper the ends of notes, to clean out sound, to clean out the harmonic structure, and basically all of the advanced pedal techniques that I would use on an acoustic piano, I can apply using Pianoteq.